Okay, I'll repost. I think it was there last week also.
We had posted, we'll put it in the group description maybe.
Yeah, it is there in the
It is
description.
already there in the
I
description.
got it through that, but suddenly we tend to go to the old link by default. So
Okay, repost it.
We can start
Yeah,
or we wait for some time.
we'll start, Arti. So I've just told them to use the link in the group description.
Bala, can you start?
Okay. Wo- wo- सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये ततो जयमुदीरये Hari Om. I'll share. I don't know till where you had stopped, Aarti. Oh, sharing. So please allow me to share.
Oh, yeah.
Done? Make me co-host.
Yeah. You're able to, right?
Yeah, it's here. So till where you had done last week? Is this over?
We went we are going into the 3 paces of ground. We went into that.
Okay, go further down. Just a minute. We are looking at Mahabali. the generous Mahabali who has so much of reverence for Narayana also. So that made him actually, a great Tyagi. He is giving up all his possessions. He is in fact happy to give to Narayana. That is what we saw. And he has taken the curse of his guru that he will lose everything. And then all this is over.
All this is over. The Rasa Tala, all the 7 talas.
Okay.
The immense form of the Lord reached the heavens, Narayana with 1 foot. We even saw this.
Okay. Ganga. Then Lord had measured entire earth. All this is over. Garuda.
No, that is not over. Mandakini, she became Ganga. This we saw, yes. We can start from this paragraph because
this one, the Lord had
the
measured.
Lord had measured. We did read it, but we will start from there.
You please go ahead.
The Lord had measured the entire earth and the heavens too. He resumed the form of the Vamana and stood there smiling. The Asuras saw their... So now, just before this, Vamana has taken over the heavens and the earth. And he's showing his Virat form. His eyes are the sun, the veins are the rivers, the whole Virat form he shows. And after that, he shows his Vishnu Rupa with the Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, that Rupa. But only that form. The Virat Rupa is visible to Bali and the others and not visible to all the others. Whereas the gross, the gross form of him with the Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, everybody is also, we were discussing how just because of one person's superiority, so many people got blessed. It's because of Bali, so many people got blessed because of him. So the Lord had measured the entire earth and the heavens too. He resumed the form of the Vamana and stood there smiling. He became small again. The Asuras saw their master robbed of all his wealth and his kingdom. They decided to fight with Vamana. They thought that they could fight with Vamana, destroy him, and re-established Bali on the throne. They rushed towards the diminutive form of Narayana with their weapons uplifted. The attendants of Vishnu who were there already prepared themselves to fight with the Asuras. Bali saw all this and he became angry with his attendants. He said, "Listen to my words and abandon the resolve to fight." Evidently, the time is not favorable to us. Indeed, time is the most powerful of all factors. Time is the Lord himself, and according to him and his wish, man is granted happiness and sorrow. Man is helpless in his presence. There was a time when same time favored us, and it spelled ill for the Devas. We were powerful and they were suffering. Time has now decided to reverse its tactics. Nothing, not a large army, not incantations, nor tapas can stem the tide of time. We can only wait for the moment when there is a change in our fortunes. Till then, be wise and control yourself. Do not fight. It is futile. Matra sparshesthu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agama payino nityaha tam stitikshasva bharata. So all will come and go day and night. So sometimes it is the time of the Asuras, sometimes it is the time of the Devas. Even within us, sometimes the Asuras come up, sometimes the Devas come up. But what we do, don't go in fighting it, don't go to resist it, just be. Just be. What has come when the time, it is like after the day, the night has to come. So if you just wait, the night will come anyway. But we think that because of my doing, the day has come. Somehow, if this is the period of the night and this is the period of the day, it is going to go through that period. Through that period, we are going to have so much activity. And because of that activity, we feel that something we have done, that is why day has come. But actually, when the appropriate time has come, only it has come. Also, either I am the doer or I am the sufferer. Why is this like this? Why are things happening like that? Complaints and grudges and so much activity. But if I can just be knowing that this too shall pass and it shall come next. That this time is right now like the pendulum. If it has gone that way, it has to come back this way. That's all.
It's futile. I think that we must take in our heads very strongly, tell our buddhi. Completely futile to say why it has all that Aarti mentioned, to not get into all that. Because it's totally futile anyway. Whenever Kala is Bhagwan, whenever it turns, it turns. The beautiful first verse of Upadesha Sara, it says, Karma kim param, karma tat jadam. So this karma is jada. It is very gross. It is grosser than the body. Karma, time, everything is the same, more or less. So there is no control over that. We have absolutely no control over that. It is just happening according to the yantri. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, she is yantri and yantra. We are the yantras and he is the yantri, and whatever is done is being done. We meaning the body, the mind. So actions are happening, activities are happening. So it is completely futile to go, and it is like a beautiful example that Swami Nachu Swami gives is, we are watching a movie and the movie is happening. As I am watching, I'm trying to change the story of the movie. As I am watching, I'm telling it is all past that we are actually that is being projected. So it has got nothing to do with me. There is no power for the audience to change the movie. Similarly, but there is power for us to, the choice is there to be audience and be there and watch and be wise. That is what it is said, endure it and control yourself. Something is happening, Bhargaviji, from your computer, I think. Some lines are being drawn. You can erase it, it will be good.
So there is this story, right, of Lord Shiva and Parvati. The nature of the world is that it is ever changing. So once Lord Mata Parvati goes and asks Lord Shiva, why are you wearing a mala of skulls? And he says, because whenever the Prakriti gets destroyed, you go through birth and death. Whenever you get destroyed, I miss you. So I keep you with me in the form of this mala, that skull with this mala. So she says, oh, so I have been born and dead so many times. That's why there are so many skulls. He says, yes. And she, of course, says, then why I also want to be eternal. And Shiva tries to give her the Brahma Vidya, but she dozes off in the meanwhile. So that's such is the nature of the Prakriti. Prakriti is not eternal. It is ever changing. It is its nature. But the being within that say, I am. And then you go beyond even that I and you see that I am. That is that consciousness, that supreme consciousness is never changing, is eternal. Always there, it is the only constant. And the world is ever changing. So this tide will come, the tide rises, the tide goes down. There is a low tide, there is a high tide. The sine wave goes up and comes down. All of these things keep happening. But through all of this, we must recognize that unchanging truth within. And that unchanging truth, when we are identified with that, then there is the stitiksha. Just to be. Patiently wait. This too shall pass. That story also we shared last week, right? This too shall pass. We'll continue. Anything else coming up? Anybody? Our suffering is because we are not ready to, like, what does a bear do? Bear, when it is winter season, it just collects all the food and goes to sleep. It can't do anything anyway. It's not sitting and grumbling and tying and why is it like that? You just hibernate and wait for things to happen. Keep low. The time will come eventually. Keep doing whatever is there without getting too involved, or why me, or why this, why are the things not like this. It is also a phase. Like Indra wanted to escape the 7.5 years. He came to know that he is getting 7.5 years of Shani.
I just want to share a little bit here.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, somebody, I mean, when we hear in the stories, okay, about these things, we take it as a incident or an anecdote that has happened. And okay, however grave it is, that is why we are able to see any kind of movies, isn't it? So, however morbid it is, or however violent or whatever it is, we are able to see that because we are seeing it as
a movie.
as a sakshi bhava, as we are, it is not us in that particular thing. So we are able to. That is why look at the violence in the movies that is coming in. If you just compare it to last 10 years or 20 years, we were not allowed to watch any violent movies, and look at the content that the children are watching now. So besides this, it is when you say that, it is even this shall pass and all those things, we all know that even this nothing is permanent, and we are passing, I mean, we are in the flowing water and other things. But it is that resilience that when the event is happening to us, okay, it is to keep that resilience. That is what I think I'm working through this satsang. I do not know what is going to be my next moment, or how is it going to be the next year, or even the next month. But whether I am preparing myself in not preparing myself well, whether I have that state of mind which I can keep at that moment. So many people, they see that they are going through such tribulations, but you will not see them you know uh, reacting to the world in that manner. This is that how can they really be doing all these things? We keep saying that. And with some people, with the slightest of the things, they can get very agitated. Okay, so I think it is that bit of it, that it is even we are going to laugh at our own incidences, what happened to us, and the way we responded to that at that particular thing. And I'm sure if you introspect, you will want to deal with it. If the same situation comes, you will want to deal with it in entirely in a different way. You will not deal with it in the way that you dealt with, probably, if it was, isn't it? So
Hopefully.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully, yeah. But that is what it is, like whether we can have that sense of presence in every place. That's what Sthita Pragnasya Ka Bhasha, that he keeps on asking that, right? So it's, I mean, it is like, I recently went to Narmada, and they had all these rounded pebbles and stones, and they said that it is all found in Narmada.
Hmm.
The story of the pebble, if you see that, how many roles it has had to be able to attain that
Yeah.
that lingam shape,
Yes.
isn't it? It was a very crude stone with all kinds of rough edges, isn't it? And then as it was rolling, and had those formations and whatever it is, and then it became so precious at the end of it.
Yes.
Very nice example.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
So we know that the time that this shall pass away, but when it is passing, whether you are able to keep that presence, that is the thing.
Simple Nama Japa helps.
Yeah, I agree
goes
with
a
that.
long way.
And
That
I
presence
agree.
is
I agree. Yeah, when it is when it is uh, out of control means when you are not
yes,
able to do anything,
yes.
you just, yeah, surrender is the only way. That is, I
Only way, only way.
only way. Yeah. Who are
Hold
you?
on to the inner one.
And always it is not you, but through you. If you just put that through you, then the whole situation changes, the whole perspective of looking at that particular event changes. When you say that it is not you, but through you, which is happening, then the whole perspective, at least for me, that happens.
See, the power of such satsangas come to play during such
Exactly.
tribulations.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
there are, sometimes we may not even have listened to such statements like what you said right now, through you and not you. There can be many things, right?
Yeah.
Naham, naham, tvam, tvam. There are a lot of such powerful things which Mahatmas have shared. You never know, at some point in time, something like that comes up, and then suddenly there is samadhan, in the mind. And that titiksha comes up and we are it. So the power of satsang is it comes up when it has to come up. Krishna
Yeah, I
says it.
mean, yeah, we all know simple living is the best thing, that you minimize as you grow, you get rid of the things which you don't, declutter yourself, all that. But look at the amount of things that we buy, and then look at the amount of things that we do. It is like, I mean, you need to be having that presence all the time. Not,
Awareness.
which is not, yeah, at least I do not have that right now.
That's our tapasya, lifelong tapasya.
Yeah, exactly.
The fall
Right.
is also needed, only then we can grow, like the pebble
Yeah.
example
I
that you
mean,
gave.
I went to Narmada, and I went to a place called Kapiladhara.
Oh, this
Okay.
Kapila Muni.
Yeah, it,
Mm.
it is in that Narmada and Vidya ranges only all these things happened, I think, right? According to the text. And I was reliving that text so much over there. I was almost like visualizing the Kapila Muni, writing the Sankhya there, that
Wow.
I'm saying, oh my God, it is such a beautiful thing. And they say that Narmada just the darshan. And they like, I have seen in Tiruvannamalai, they say Arunachala Shiva. They call the Arunachala as the living, as the seeing God or whatever it is, right? And there they call Narmada as the Jai Narmade. They all the time they are praying to Narmada.
Hmm.
They are going on Narmada Parikrama. Scores of people are going. They just leave their homes. It takes about 3.5 years, it seems, to do the full Parikrama of Narmada. They just leave.
Hmm.
All of them are old people only. They're
Hmm.
just walking on the streets. I mean, I said, the only thing that I felt was, just because of these people, we are getting some water to drink, I thought.
Yes,
The
yes.
tapas of these
Definitely.
people, my God, it is unbelievable the way they pray to Narmada. Yeah, okay. Just
3.5 years, is it?
Hmm.
3.5 years. Because it starts in Amarkantak and it falls in Arabian Sea. Narmada is the only river which flows westward.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
and
Can
it
it will
becomes
just
wider
totally
and wider.
transform a person, isn't it?
Huh?
Even
It
to
will
take up
totally
that,
transform.
no, even to
Yeah,
take
I
up
mean
that
it is.
parikrama,
Yeah,
one has to be a
yeah,
recluse.
and it is said that the parikrama. I was asking whether they come, all of them come to Amarkantak. They say they keep passing. They can start anywhere, it seems. Even from Gujarat,
Ah,
where the Narmada goes, and the mouth of the river also, you can start and do the parikrama and come back to that.
Come back to that.
But it takes about 3 years, so many days and so many months and 17 days or something like that, they were saying. And all of them so pious. They have something rolled for sleeping there, and they take shelter. And all of them, that whole, they know that they are the parikramis, and everybody gives them shelter and food. Like the Varkaris in Maharashtra, the
Mm.
people give them food and shelter during that, when they grow from Alandi to Pandharpur. So they
Mm.
give them. So it's the same thing here. I was like, एंड मैंने कहा कि मैं आपके पाँव पड़ती हूँ, तो दे सेड दैट नो, आप नर्मदा का पाँव पड़िए. नर्मदा माई का पाव पड़िए उसे, उनका
Yeah.
दर्शन कीजिए. That's what they were telling me. Unbelievable. I mean, the Shraddha that has that place has, and nothing. Amarkantak is such a peaceful place, so beautiful. It is in the midst of the forest, and many beautiful flora, fauna, and very peaceful people. So quietly, they are walking and doing their own thing. And all throughout the year, they do, it seems. It's not one particular season or something. In winters, probably they can continue. 3 years means winter, summer, all seasons they will see there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They said हम घर से निकलते हैं, हम परिक्रमा करते करते गुजर भी गए तो नर्मदा में ही लीन हो जाएंगे ना, उसकी क्या चिंता. They say they just leave home and do that.
What we are intellectualizing, they are living it in a
They are
very
living it, absolutely, absolutely. We are
and
just
it is like taking it on, right? We are waiting for something to happen, and then whether
exactly
we will face it, we will. But they are just facing it head on,
head on.
walking into
Nobody.
it.
Do you think they are not blood pressure, they are not diabetes, or
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are not all that?
yeah.
Unko kuch parwa nahi. There's nothing. They said that she is there, no, to take care of us. If she wants us to do the parikrama, we'll do it. Otherwise, जहां मुक्ति मिलेगी वहीं चले जाएंगे. नर्मदा के में ही तो लीन हो जाएंगे. That's what they say.
It is almost like taking sannyasa.
Exactly. I mean, it is, we can't put words to those kind of things. It is just, and what serenity in their faces. I saw so much, so calm they are. There's nothing, and that the tapri wali chai, the kullad chai she is giving. She is not asking them for money or anything like that, and they are also not asking for chai. They are just going and sitting there, and chai is served to them. That's it.
Mm.
It is so mutual that I asked the driver, we were talking to him. He said that यहाँ पर ऐसे ही होता है. कोई किसी को उनको देखकर ही सब लोग देते हैं, मांगना नहीं पड़ता है, भिक्षा नहीं है ये. And they say that if they take it, if they take your offerings, they think that they get the punya. I mean, the
Correct.
people who are offering.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
It is like, thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity to serve this bhakta.
Or these people. Exactly, exactly, exactly. And it was so cold. See, we went last week, and then it was in Madhya Pradesh, then February, it is pretty cold. So he said that chalte chalte, wahi humko, I mean, they're walking, right? So their bodies are warming up. Early morning, they are walking. Yeah.
One side,
Sonbhadra
it is so
River.
beautiful to listen to all this. Another
So
side, we
beautiful.
feel like, oh my God, where are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
long? What all, the other side, it also feels that way.
but in fact, the MPT, we stayed in that Amarkantak. They say they were those people. I said that, oh my God, this is such a beautiful place. You should just stay here for some time. So they said that during the COVID, it seems some people had gone there and they got stuck. There was no transport, nothing. They could not go home. For 1.5 months, the MPT gave them free food and this thing. They charged very minimum for them. And they said that, they had such a wonderful time in the woods. They said that ऐसा रास्ता नहीं ढूंढा उन्होंने, सब कुछ देखा इधर.
Mm.
पूरा पूरा अमरकंट, पूरा विंध्या सतपुरा का अनुभव किया उन्होंने. ऐसा they were saying that those kind of things. I said, what a way to spend your time. Good.
Something initially would have looked like a big, maybe fear. I
Maybe
don't
a
know
big
what all they
challenge.
went
Yes,
through.
yes, yes,
And then
yes.
it became a blessing.
Yeah, it became a blessing. Hmm.
But that is why,
And
also out of compassion, Annapurna ji, it has been so many different margas have been given.
I totally feel that, But we did so much of study, so much of degree, so much of work, so much of this, that, and other things. The life has just been gone, you know. We have not done anything. That's what I feel.
That
You
is
know,
like the karma kanda. It's
I
okay.
know.
We accept that also.
Yeah, and I said
But
that,
without the dharma marga there, that's the only
yeah,
problem.
and if you are in the name of the, I think I had shared this with Bala also. I don't mind taking a number of janmas. If I can be, thinking of the Lord and taking His name, let Him give me whatever janma He
That is
wants.
what even Nachur Swamigal is telling, right? You don't keep thinking, when will it happen, when will I
Yeah,
get a
who
moksha,
wants the
you
mukti?
just say, even if rebirth happens, it's fine, but I want to keep serving you.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
That must be there.
yeah.
I
Anyway.
serve you. When we
Hmm.
forget that, that is the biggest, that is when we fall into ignorance.
No, and then the satsang keeps you reminding. I mean, at least for me, that difference has happened that, Tuesdays, I don't want to give any appointment, go anywhere to anybody's house. Thursdays afternoon, I dread if there is a doctor's appointment on Thursdays in the afternoon. So I said, I'm going to miss that. I heard the whole recording of that thing, but it's still very different from being in that satsang, being a part of it. So that really does matter. Earlier, very very early, Harikatha and all those things used to happen. Now nothing happens, right?
And also this sharing and, when we concretize it, it also makes it beautiful for us.
Yeah, I mean, I could literally, for a minute, for 5-10 minutes, I sat in that Kapil Dhara place. I thought that, the Muni is walking around and he's still there. That's what I was visualizing, like.
I felt like that, like when I went to Kumbh Mela and when I saw
Oh,
all the people there, it
ah,
was like that. I was remembering Naimisharanya. When I look at all the Naga
oh,
sadhus coming together, they are discussing how to keep Sanatana Dharma alive and how to be the Rakshaks, Dharma Rakshak, and what all to do. They're coming together. So many people are getting initiated. People are asking questions. People are answering. And when we've been journeying through this Bhagavatam for so long,
I
it
know.
was it just felt very, very beautiful. This is what is being captured in our scriptures, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, just telling about this, today in the dentist shop, I was sitting there, and there was this Mata Amrita. She has this small booklets, which I was thinking of really, subscribing to that thing. In that, quickly, I read a story. There was a farmer who comes, and then somebody told him, he said that, what is this? You are not taking God's name, nothing you are doing. Your life will completely be wasted if you don't do. You should listen to satsang and go there and all. So he gets very inspired. He said that, yes, 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 I should go. I'm illiterate, and at least now at this age. So there is some Bhagavatam which is going on, and so he goes there. He goes there, and then there is some recitation of the slokas and everything, and explanation and all that. After some time, he is totally, he cannot understand what is going on in that satsang. And then suddenly he sees that one picture of Krishna giving Upadesha to Arjuna. That picture is there, and the Lord is turning towards Arjuna. Okay, he's turning his head, and he is just looking at that picture and crying. And everybody is finished satsang and gone and everything, and that Swamiji comes and he says, "Why are you crying? What made you cry? What in satsang?" He said, "I did not understand a word of what you said, but I am only looking at that Lord and I'm feeling very bad for him, because all this time he was turning his head towards Arjuna. How much his head neck must be paining. I was worrying about that Lord, and I'm feeling so bad for that." He had to. So he said that all I have given to these people, is waste. You have not listened to anything, but you have got the essence of the bhakti. That is. So I was thinking that it is like we all think that we do so much, but are we? I mean, are we really in that? Uh, zone of whatever. That's the
As
thing.
long as we are quickly remembering him, at least.
Yeah, I
In
mean,
him at all point in time, at least.
and that comes automatically, Krishna, Krishna, it will come automatically. That when you are doing that, it becomes like a muscle memory, even if you are not cautiously doing it, your mind is not doing, your muscle is doing it. I mean, it should come. Kan kan me Ram, kan me Ram, tan tan me Ram. They say that every corpuscle of your should be Ram Ram. They say, no, that's the thing. Anyway.
Chalo.
Long way to go. Mala.
No, he's here with us at all point in time also.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very short distance also, actually.
No distance,
No
but
distance.
to
No
realize
distance.
that
Yeah.
so much, of cleansing is needed. I think Aarti brought out that point. You must tell that so that we all feel, okay, so many paths are given out of compassion.
Yes. Yeah. See, like I was telling in the Kumbh Mela, can I just walk like that, sleep anywhere, do anything? For some reason, I have been put in this kind of a house, in this kind, with a certain kind of comfort. Now, and I have gone through a certain kind of education. Now, if I cannot, that is what Krishna also says, don't try to live the Swadharma of somebody else.
Right.
It is very
Or-
nice
or
to
even
look at
change
that
the
pure
dharma.
bhakti. But
Yeah.
I cannot. It is, but I can get inspired. It shows me how beautifully the seers have put together so many different paths for everybody. That is what comes. But there is a path for me too, which may
Yeah.
not be that
We cannot imitate others' bhakti.
others.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the famous story of Vivekananda, right? The boy comes to him and he says, I want to learn Vedanta. So he says, what do you like? What do you like most? He says, I like to play football. He said, just keep the focus on the ball. You will learn Vedanta, he said.
Yeah.
He
So
said, just
for each
see,
one of us.
see, you want to kick the ball and put it in the goal post should be your focus. You will learn Vedanta automatically, he said. So that should be, whatever the karya that
Wherever we are,
wherever
our
we are, be mindful of that, and then it is always through me, not from me,
It's famous quote of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So many men, so many paths, equal path
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
reach there.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yato manus tato path. That's what he
Yeah.
said.
And
Yeah.
as she said, Madam said that with satsang, we are so used to the classes. If you listen to the YouTube, in between, I feel like speaking and expressing my opinion because in YouTube. So live class is always very comfortable.
Yes, yes. We
In
feel like
in what
sharing something,
in
something comes
whatever
up.
in whatever
Yeah,
way.
whatever comes now, that too, I being too talkative, immediately I speak, and then I realize, oh, it's YouTube.
Yeah.
Sometimes I also feel that, you know, we jump and, we use our intellect and ask so many questions. Actually, we should just listen and the silence will speak. That also I have experienced actually. I said that to,
We ask questions not for our answers, but sometimes just to engage and concretize certain things, the discussion.
yeah.
But again, what questions come out? That's why, in many of the things, Parikshit, when he's asking the question, Shukamuni would say, this is a very good question.
Yeah.
That's because, what follows there becomes a yoga in itself.
Yes.
Becomes, it allows the mind to subside.
When I am explaining, when the so-called teacher is also talking about it, they go into a yoga to talk about that.
This entire intellectual exercise that sometimes we go through is only to quieten the intellect, that's all. And then it transcends. The intellect quietens, and then we realize, oh, it's all beyond. Initially, probably it is necessary.
You know, the same thing, you know, you understand in different stages of your life the same thing in different profound manner,
Yeah.
which is there, you know, that comes with kind of a how you are internalizing that or something like that. That has also been
Mm.
my experience. The which the same see, the second chapter I learned when I was like 35 or something like that. So the kind of understanding I had at that time and now after 20 years, 25, 30 years, it's giving me totally different meaning. I mean, it is to, I mean, my understanding about that is in a different level, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And the same shloka will speak to you differently today and tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is why, I mean, they say that you to read that sloka and, you know, contemplate about it every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Move on?
Yes.
Yeah. We went somewhere and all today.
No.
Good
This is also
satsang.
needed. We'll
Yeah.
also come back.
Yeah.
That's what.
But Bali has been my hero. Whatever you say, you know, he has been my hero. Like, I very much, you know, so much I'm impressed with his bhakti and his
Yeah,
surrender.
he is.
So much, you know, yeah.
What a surrender Bali is,
I
like
know.
complete. He's now cursed by his own guru. All his people are
Undeterred,
against him.
undeterred.
Undeterred. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the guru is telling guru knows more, knows something. He's listening to his own
Yeah.
inner this
That
thing.
conviction, you know,
Conviction. Yes.
that conviction. Yes.
And Shukracharya himself has confirmed that it is Narayana.
Yeah.
So if he has confirmed that it is Narayana, it is only a great blessing.
So I mean, I seriously feel that, you know, he was a more bhakta of Narayana probably. You know, Bali was a more bhakta of Narayana that he said, never mind, you know, if he's there, he's coming in that avatar and that I
Yeah.
don't mind surrendering to him.
Yeah.
You know.
Bhagavatam also tells that, no, if it is for Narayana, I think we saw in the earlier, the previous, then
I
I'm
admit,
more than happy to give, is what Bali says. His hand
yeah,
will
yeah,
be underneath mine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love for Narayana is.
And in capitals, it is given in capitals. So, I mean, this text is written by, I mean, I keep thanking this great
She's given
lady.
a crux so beautifully, but
So beautifully she has narrated this.
yes.
She might. I don't know how much time it has taken. I would like to know about this Kamalaji. You know, Kamala Subramaniam. So beautifully she has put it. Yeah,
And also to read verse by verse is so beautiful.
yeah.
That
I mean,
is the different, it's a
That is a
manana.
different flavor altogether.
yeah.
Yes. Garuda was standing, right? We were there.
Go
Hmm.
ahead, Bala.
No.
Shall
Bali
I
came to himself.
shall I say
Garuda, he was standing.
Someone wants to say something.
Ah,
yes?
sorry.
Yes, I'll just like to add that as we know, there are 9 processes of devotion like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Haranam, and all. And for each, there are examples given. Like Shravanam, it is Parikshit Maharaj because he heard non-stop for 7 days and 7 nights. Kirtanam is Shukadev Goswami, like that. Padasevanam is Lakshmi Devi and all. So the last is Atma Nivedanam. And the example given of Atma Nivedanam is Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj. Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
that is,
Most,
yeah, very nice. Thank you,
yes,
Jaymalaji. Very nice, beautiful. We would
yes,
like to hear to all the stories, I think. Yeah.
surrendering everything to the Lord. That is Atma
Yeah,
Nivedanam. And
I
it is
know.
the most difficult, it seems. And the example given is Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj.
To give your
Yes.
head to the Lord. This
Mm.
Yeah,
consciously.
Lord, yeah.
A total surrender.
Without anything, how much of, yeah, like Atma Bhakti, I mean, how much of it must be there. We don't see any other example in the whole thing as that of Bali, right?
Yes.
There is no other example,
Individuality is completely
no
given.
parallel to him actually. Atmani Vedanam, very nice.
Beautiful. Bali smiled to himself. He knew why this happened. What was that? Because of Varuna Pasha.
Start from Garuda was standing by the side.
Garuda was standing by the side of the Lord. So we don't fight. Okay, it's futile. We had stopped that. Garuda was standing by the side of the Lord. He stole one glance at his master, and then with Varuna Pasha, he tied up Bali. There were shouts of horror and indignation from all quarters when this happened. Bali smiled to himself. He knew why this happened. Narayana wanted him to be rid of the two dread sins which had found a place in his hearts, the twins I and mine. When he had said, I can give the entire earth to you, it is mine, the Lord must have smiled to himself and decided to punish him for that. He looked at Vamana. When he saw the love and grace there, Bali knew that he was wrong. The Lord has come to bless him. By asking the boon, he had taken away all that he had, and the sin mine had been washed away. The Lord now wanted to let the world know that only by surrender can one lose I. And that was why he had asked Garuda to bind him. The kindness of the Lord made Bali's eyes fill with tears, and he bowed his head with humility while he was being tied up with the Varuna Pasha by Garuda. What a beautiful paragraph. Mine is
I
over.
am so generous. I own everything, so I will give.
And the
So
inner
that
one just
little
knows
thing,
it,
Hmm?
isn't it? The inner one just knows it.
Yes.
The inner one has already given Bali the hint. The problem is I and mine I had in me. That is why the same inner one has come outside as Vamana in a form to teach this lesson. Somewhere when we also, fall, we know. Sometimes the desire or whatever is making us fall may cover it, but in the when we sit and when we really contemplate, we know within what is the problem. Is I and mine. So Bali is very beautiful. He says he knew it was I and mine, and the mine was taken away. And now, how is the I taken? I cannot be given also. Only by complete surrender one can lose I. So beautiful it is.
Such a bhram that you think that you can give your eye.
Who is giving the I?
Isn't it? My God. Such a profound statement it is. He calls it twin, I and mine.
This
The
I,
first mine has to go. Yeah, Aarti, please go ahead.
this I is borrowed consciousness. What am I even claiming as mine when it is not even mine?
Mhm.
The I is nothing but a jata. It is not even, it's non-existent, in fact. Only I am giving a false reality to it. But again, it is his free will, and only he can take it away. It is the consciousness which is manifested as this I. So I cannot take it away, only he can take it away. I can be aware. The destruction of the ego is only in his hands. Of that I-ness.
See, this I-ness is what we gather from our Prakriti, isn't it? when the child is born, he doesn't know who he is, right? The I is the identification is borrowed from, because somebody calls him by one name, he responds to that name, and then they say that this belongs to you, this is your toy, and this is your clothes, and this is your house, and this is your mother, father, everything. Then it is the Prakriti outside, the world is influencing and making him that ego person, right?
I am the body. That thought is the I thought. That's all. Prakriti is body binds. The moment that I am the body, so a newborn doesn't have. That's why they say it is in God's state.
So, I mean, I'm just very hypothetically thinking, if you're a conscious parent and you don't want your child to grow up with that ego, can you do that? Can you kind of influence or give that circle of influence of...
There is a certain reason that I is there.
Yeah, according to Raghuramji, he says that it becomes non-functional if you
Yes,
don't have
there is
that
a
ego.
reason also for the tightness. This whole every cell of the body feels part of that I, or connected through that sense of I-ness. So the I-ness is there for a certain reason. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it comes as asmita,
Oh,
for a
okay.
functionality. If this body, every cell does not have that identification of to the jiva, to that separate as a jiva, it will functionally it is not possible. There is a reason why that identification comes from into the I, into the mind, into this thing, so that it is said that the reason you can, so it is not in my hand is what I'm trying to say, Annapurna ji. That will happen. That is
Yeah, exactly. Just to think of it, that it's going
the
to...
cosmic design.
Hmm.
So that I-ness is there. That I-ness manifests in the mind then manifests as the as the karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. That is how the design is. So it is not possible not to get that identification. That is what Sukhamuni does, right? Sukhamuni, when he was in the womb of Vyasadeva's wife, he is there for many years, almost like many years, 10 years or so, something like that. And Vedavyasa's, he is struggling, his wife is struggling, and he says, "Oh, Sukhamuni, please, Sukha, please come out of the womb." He says, "No, I've got the Brahma Vidya from Narayana already. From Lord Shiva already I've got the Brahma Vidya. The moment I come out, Vishnu Prana will hit me, and I will forget everything, and I will come under the influence of Maya.
Oh.
And the I-ness will hit me. So I don't want to come out.
Oh.
Because that is the nature of Prakriti."
Hmm.
He says, "So I don't want to come out." So then Vedavyasa is supposed to have called Narayana, Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu is said to have blessed him that for you will not forget. Maya will not hit you.
Oh, okay.
So he retains the Brahma Vidya even after he is born. So that is so we can't do anything. It is we cannot change nature. And also there's a beautiful statement. Why does this one have to get identified with many? And then we have to go back and do all the realization and come back to this one. Why can't I just stay as one?
You don't
It is because
understand
this
that
oneness
one.
becomes many to experience the joy of oneness again.
Correct. Exactly. I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, you don't realize that if you have that thing in your hand, you don't realize that, the value
Only
of
when
that.
you go away, you know that when as long as children are with us or whatever, we don't know the value. The moment they go out, there is a separation anxiety.
Yeah,
And the moment
exactly.
they come back, we are so happy. We have to miss it to know its joy.
Yeah. That is why the space between is so important. That is what they say, that you have to have the gap to be able to breathe through that. Beautiful.
Bali smiled to himself. He knew why this happened. Narayana wanted him to be rid of the two dreaded sins which had found place in his heart, the twins, I and mine, when he had said, I can give you. So it was his own realization also, so beautifully. Narayana didn't have to tell him this. It is mine. The Lord must have smiled to himself and decided to punish him for that. When he saw the love and grace, he looked at Vamana. When he saw the love and grace there, Bali knew that he was wrong. The Lord had come to bless him. So even in the previous paragraph, Bali Maharaj says, it is not our time now. So we have to lie low. But in fact, whatever was happening was a blessing, was the next realization. First, we are looking at that period as a difficulty. So let us live right, and then divinize. That again, Raghuramji will nicely say that. Tolerance, that is coming out beautifully in this story also. Tolerance. First complaint, say. If you want to, whenever there is a complaint that comes up, first step is titiksha. Tolerance moves to acceptance. Acceptance moves to appreciation. Appreciation moves to divinizing. So now he was able to divinize. It is a blessing. The Lord has come to bless him. By asking the boon, he had taken away all that he had, and the sin mine had been washed away. The Lord now wanted to let the world know that only by surrender can one lose I, and that was why he had asked Garuda to bind him. The kindness of the Lord made Bali's eyes fill with tears, and he bowed his head with humility while he was being tied up with the Varuna Pasha by Garuda. You want to continue reading, Bala?
Bali keeps his promise. The Lord looked at Bali, who was now a captive, who had lost all he had because he would not swerve from truth. And Narayana said, You are the king of Asuras, and you promised me ground which will be covered by 3 paces measured by my foot. 2 of them, as you have seen, have been covered, and they are mine. There is still 1 pace left. Where will I place my foot? Tell me. You have not kept your word, and you know what the punishment is for one who speaks an untruth. You will have to be pushed into the netherworld. Your guru has already told you about it. Bali was neither frightened nor hurt by the words of Vamana. Neither frightened nor hurt. These are the both 2 things where we get caught. No? Fear or losing our self-image, hurting. He smiled and said, Lord, I do not consider my words to be lies. There is still place for your 3rd place. Please be gracious enough to place your foot on my head. I am not afraid of Naraka, but I am afraid of being called a sinner. I am not afraid of these bonds which have tied me up. I am not afraid of poverty and eternal sorrow, punishment which is meted out to a man by one who is dear to him. Punishment is meted out to a man by one who is dear to him. Dear like a mother, a brother, a father, or a well-wisher is indeed a blessing. In the eyes of the world, you are supposed to have punished me for my pride and my arrogance, but in reality, you have blessed me. You have opened my inner eye, the eye of wisdom, and you are a friend of Asuras and not their enemy.
It's just such a subtle shift of perception. That's all it is. How I look at it. In my ego, in my I-ness, in my ego, there is a veiling of the reality. And the moment that ego is removed, it dawns that everything is a blessing only. The reality is that everything is divine. Everything is a blessing. But in our wailing, we forget the divinity. Wailing, that ignorance. Ignorance of the eye and mind.
Here it is said, see, Bali himself is saying, you're a friend of Asuras and not their enemy. Many times people ask, no, Lord is partial to Devas, however they are, you know. There is no partiality. There's nothing like partiality in the Lord. So Asura himself is saying that you're not their enemy, you are indeed a friend. And that minus and I is gone, then that Suhrit Bhava comes. So continue, Arti.
The way we look at Asuras, this totally shifts it for us. It is a balance. Like the sine wave is up, there is a sine wave that comes down also. To maintain a balance. If you write on a scale, from the midpoint you write +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, +6 goes on, and on the other side it becomes -1, -2, -3, -4. So every force has an equal and opposite reaction. In fact, in Dvaita philosophy, there is a, what is that horse? There is a Asura god and a Deva god. What is that? In everything that will come.
Taratamya.
No, the horse one who comes and eats from
Hayagriva.
Hayagriva, sorry. I was not getting that name. There is a Hayagriva god and the Hayagriva Deva. Everything, the duality is the positive and the negative, the sorrow and the happiness, the darkness and the light. That
Today's satsang, Raghuramji was only explaining about the dark and the light. Why you need both. You know, too much light you cannot see. You need the darkness to be able to perceive the light. That's what he was so beautifully saying it actually.
Exactly.
Very, very beautiful it was. Yeah. It's not about, he was just telling us that it is not about pros and cons of the life, you know, cause and effect of the life. It just doesn't work that way.
To even understand that there is bliss, I need to know what is sorrow.
And shifting the attention from the darkness and the light, from the sorrow to the joy, to the one who is experiencing all that. That is what is the entire, Vedanta.
The whole concept of the yin and yang also is the same.
Yeah. Yin, yang, both are there, but there is something which is
Observing that.
All that, no?
Yeah.
So shifting the attention to that. That is what is Bhagavatam trying to tell us every page. Here Narayana is there beyond the Asura and the Deva. Yes, there has to be a Deva, there has to be an Asura.
Even to tell his name, we have to have his grace. That's what I feel. Even to take his nama, we have to have his grace.
Yes, yes, very much.
Actually, that is so right, Annapurna ji. There are some people who come in to such satsanga, and then when they hear something negative in the spiritual line that happens, it becomes easy. If they are so spiritual, still they act like that. All this ignorance is only better. All this spirituality and all this is not necessary. They go away from this whole thing. That shraddha, that reverence, that faith to continue and not get deterred by the happenings around, and to know that it's all beyond. The reality is beyond all of this. And to continue in this path is his blessing only.
Last time when Nachur Swami had come to this Kuch Lamba Kalyan Mandapa, I went for all the 3 sessions of his, and he was just telling the same thing as you are saying. He says that I have to have the grace to be here, and you have to have the grace to be here, and we have to have the grace together to be able to recite this, This is. And at the end of it, we have to just be very grateful and have the gratitude that this happened because of this, This.
Yes. If not like the Narmada Parikrama people, at least wherever we are, so much he has given, no?
And they are
Tell
not
him his gratitude.
if you talk to them, they are just very normally talking to you. They don't give you any gyan, no nothing. They said that Narmada Mai, Narmada Mai, Narmada Mai.
The devotion, the bhakti.
That's all.
What's the time? 7:20.
26, we will stop.
I didn't know that, the darshan of Narmada is going to give you so much punya. That's what they are saying. I mean, it was so profound for me.
No, it shows you that side of Bharata.
And I thought that Bhumi is like that, because that whole thing happened. I was visualizing that the whole thing happened over there. Kapil Muni was there, and because the Himalayas came much later, right?
Yeah.
It is in
Maybe
that place. It is Chitrakoot and all that, like it was like a
Tapobhumi.
movie for me that things were happening over there, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
And was there, but that's not there, no? The Gaudapadacharya's
I was trying to search for that, but
huh,
it was not in that. They say there is a gufa.
Tufa, yeah.
Yeah, there is a gufa, but probably, only sadhus live there or something like that. It is not a destination where you go there, and it is not near Amarkantak. I thought it was in Amarkantak only. It must, India ranges is very, very big, right? Vindhya Satpuras are very big, huge there.
Imagine
And
a
deep inside the
6-year-old
forest,
Bhagavad Pada
oldest of the
walking.
thing. Yeah, I think those are the oldest of the mountains, like. And I was just visualizing, Shankaracharya from where Kaladi, he came to Gaudapadacharya, where in India,
And 6-year-old boy.
well, 8 years. Yeah, 8 years.
Eight.
Yeah, 8 years
Oh,
old boy.
8-year-old. Oh.
And 8 to 16 only he stayed there. 8 years only he stayed there. And 16 years he got
He goes
a
to
bonus of
Kashi.
bonus of another 16 years or something like that. That is because he was supposed to be living only till 16 years, right? That's the legend. That's what it says. He was the living, walking God. And just to be on the same earth as he was, I think that itself, gave me so much of solace. Yeah.
Instills so much, bhakti.
So much.
Beautiful.
And that was the place, Madhya Pradesh, Gwalior and that's what the Tansen was there. We went to Tansen's Maqbara and other things. I said that what kind of devotion those people had to, create that kind of a music and that kind of a.
And to see that part of Bharata is still alive.
So much, so beautiful. So
through all
beautiful.
these years, through everything that has happened, it's still so vibrant and alive.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
No, the same thing, I think, the more the more powerful the invasions were, the more powerful such bhaktas and devotion came. That's how, in fact, if we see when the Mughals were reigning the country, there were so many Maratha bhaktas who were there.
And
The contemporary
the
Ramanujacharya.
best part, Bala and Arti, I would say that in Gwalior we got a guide. He was a Muslim guide, but he had so much knowledge of the Hindu philosophy and what was going on there and how it changed. And I mean, each story he was telling us in such dedication and such, with so much of reverence and then so much of respect for that. He never used tum and this aap he was telling for all those people. And I really thanked him. I said that how nicely he's a registered guide, but unbelievable. The knowledge he had,
No, they do it as a seva.
I
In
know.
Kedar, if we go, all those who carry are mostly Islam. But what
Yeah,
seva
exactly.
bhav? What seva bhav
Yeah.
they have?
Yeah. They don't differentiate between Allah and
No, no,
Shiva and
no.
all
For
that.
That is
them,
why they call them Sanatani Muslims.
yeah.
You see, that is one marga. If you
I know.
if you accept everything and you don't say the other thing,
Hmm.
you come under the same umbrella then.
That's
It's just
right.
another marga.
Sanatana
You can
is
pray
for
5 times,
everybody.
you can have your own codes and you can do whatever, but it's you are accepting everything.
Yeah.
Everybody has a
No,
devotion.
this Eckhart Tolle, I've just reading about this Eckhart Tolle, and he says that it's only the Homo sapiens who have been given as human beings. There are two words, human and being. And he says that human is all right. Human is the one which identifies us in the physical form. It's the being which we need to be aware of that. It's so beautiful. He says that are you in the presence of being? Are you being in the moment every time
A
that you?
human is only this bodily identification.
Moment, yeah, exactly. That's what he was. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annapurna ji, for sharing all your experiences.
Narmada.
Narmada.
Fantastic it is.
No,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
it just was merged with the context. I think that's the thing. Yeah, still long way to go. You are the sadhakas.
Oh. असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम
Thank
हरि
you.
ओम
Hari Om.